Hello, this is DarkElf85 on YouTube, or HektontheMage's on PSN, and welcome to an all-new Let's Play. I didn't actually check to see if my audio function or my recording was, you know what, I'm going to check. I apologize, folks. One moment. Okay, it is working. Alright. Sorry, I had to check. But, let's play Vampire, the Masquerade Coteries of New York. I didn't know what to play after Masquerade Songs and Shadows, sorry, there's double plural. So, thought this, which will involve reading. Because I don't believe it's voice acted. No, it's not. I did play this in the sequel, and there's a third one I noticed on the Word of Darkness channel on YouTube. I didn't want to watch the person playing the demo, but it's the third in the series. These are visual novels, graphic novels. That's something different, but they're visual novels, so yeah, I'm thinking this might be enough for the last month and a week that I have left here. I actually don't know when I'm going to be packing my PS4 Pro. But yeah, that's what I thought I was going to do. Hope everyone's doing okay. Sorry that I didn't play yesterday. I finished doing grading of my classes, and I have now all 7 of my classes graded and posted grades online. I don't expect any of my students to be watching me play this game, so they won't know until they check on July 1st. But yeah, I do have them up online. Tomorrow I'm actually going to go back into my office to print out the grades so I have them on file with me so I don't have to constantly check, and make sure that they match up my own grades, my own physical grade or paper grades. I mean, they're going to be the actual paper grades that turn in later after contesting period next week, but yeah. I also got set up an interview for the college that I mentioned Sunday that happened. Yeah, so I'm going to be having an interview. That's not until later next month. I was actually shocked how late it is, but yeah, that'll work. My only concern, like, let's say I do get accepted at this college, the problem is I don't know where I will be living. I was looking at housing in that area, and there's not a lot of housing in that area. There are places that are like within an hour's drive. There were a couple places that were within 20 minutes. Yeah, the areas are rather small. Ultimately, they're all bigger than where my parents live. But they're still small towns. But yeah, anywho. I'm worried about where I would be living. At the very least, there are 3 motels in that town where the school's located. So, but yeah, I have the interview next. Actually, it's in 2 weeks. So yeah. And of course, that means in my time, it's at night. It's gonna be amazing. I meant to actually, thinking about packing stuff and moving, I meant to clear out my cabinets of food. Like, most of it needs to be thrown away. Okay, the non-perishable items. Let me rephrase that. So like grains and stuff, like spaghetti. There's stuff in there that I need to just toss out and throw away that I never touched. Don't don't be mad about me. I'm just there's certain things I just stopped doing, or stopped cooking and making and whatever, and I just never tossed them out once they expired because I'm lazy. So I need to clear up those cabinets. I was gonna do that today and then I didn't. I at least got the laundry going. I also had a dentist, my last dentist appointment. Actually, the last time I went to that hospital, the Gwangju Gidokjeong one, so Gwangju Christian Hospital. Yeah, I have one more hospital appointment, and that will be at Cheonam Daebyungwon at Cheonam University Hospital. Hopefully, they'll be open. Well, no, that doctor usually doesn't go with the strikes and things happening, so it should be fine. I don't think he's a professor. I don't know. Or he's a professor who doesn't believe in the crap. I don't really know for sure. There's some issues going on with Korea needs more doctors, and the doctors are not wanting more doctors. They don't want to have bigger classes or something. I'm just like, you're an aging society. You're one of the most aging societies. You need more doctors to take care of the elderly in your country. It's like, I'm sorry. Anyway, so I have that doctor appointment, and then I have 2 of my counseling appointments. And then I don't know when I'm going to stop doing my acupuncture and massage. I keep thinking, maybe my arm is better, and then I realize it's not. But I would like to stop it at some point so I could at least save some money before I leave. But it all depends upon my arm. Okay, that should be enough talk about Dark's life right now. Why am I... Does it delete the save files once you finish a game? It's a circle button, only nothing an X button. Do I need to make this bigger? I don't know. We're gonna go with small first of all. I don't know if that's fine. Dialogue options in the middle? No. I don't remember what that means. Okay. English, Francais, Portuguese. I don't remember. Okay, I'm just gonna say it in English because I don't know. I don't know how to say them all in just the language. French, Portuguese. That's Russian, right? I'm not sure if that's Chinese or Japanese. Would assume Japanese, but I thought Japanese was 3 characters whenever they show it in Japanese. But I don't know. Italian, I'm dumb, yes. Kind of worldly, but not that worldly. Not extreme, openly worldly. That doesn't make any sense. Anyway, Spanish, German, back to English. All right. Dynamic background, sure. Oh, like the lightning in the back there, the water moving. Actually, that's pretty water. Okay. Oh, the lights are twinkling on the bridge, isn't it? Aren't they? Audio, sure. Controls, circle, confirm, pause, menu is options, back is X, log is L2, dictionary is R2, square is skip. I don't know how often I'm going to show the dictionary. Basically, it talks about the terminology used in Vampire the Masquerade. I kind of talked a little bit about it when I was playing Swan Song, but yeah. This game was actually developed. I forget the name of the groups. Oh, here we can do the credits. But they are a Brazilian company? I forget. But as I mentioned with Swan Song, I think this game and Vampire the Masquerade. Shoot, What's the other game called? Sorry, I'm forgetting. Let me look it up. Vampire... Shadows of New York. There we go. Both of these are they are prequels to Vampire the Masquerade New York by Night, and they're part of the canon. Yeah, we're done with this. Hold a skip! That's a long hold. But yeah, so I didn't actually see the name of this company. I just saw, well, whatever. But yeah, I guess when you finish a playthrough, it deletes the file. I don't remember. I forget when I last played this. I did beat this game with all of the characters. There's 3. Well, you'll find out in a moment. Yeah, that is interesting. But there are 3 characters. You don't actually have a name. They just mention your clan name. So we have Bruja, the rebel against power and rage against authority. A seemingly insignificant man with significant ideas will join their ranks tonight. Yeah, he's a handsome book. There's Ventru. Their aristocratic blue bloods embody wealth, sovereignty, and control. A top-level corporate executive will join their ranks tonight. And then we have Toreador. The divas seek thrills of art, romance, and cruelty amidst stagnant undeath. A tormented artist will join the ranks tonight. I will say hers was the most difficult when I played because I couldn't figure out what effing blood she liked to drink. That's an issue with Ventru. Like, they're their aristocratic snobs. I mean, the rich punks. Yeah, the rich people. They will like a certain things in life. And blood, when it comes to blood, they will not just drink any blood. It will not go well if you drink something that you don't like. And I never could figure it out, which sucked. I'm actually going to play as the Toreador for purposes of this playthrough. Yeah, we have to be reading. Meh. Whatever. Excuse me. So let's accept and go. Oh, they do have names. I forgot. Okay, well, let's go back. We'll look at the other two's names. So the Bruja, his name was Eric. Okay. Not that if anyone's named Eric, you're cool, especially if you're Eric with a C only. You're lovely. You're a special snowflake. But yeah, whatever. Amanda and Lamar. Not changing the name. I don't care. It's not gonna be Hekton. It's not Hekton. It's not gonna be Dark. It's gonna be Lamar. New York taught me to believe in fate. Had you asked me about fate back when I was a human, I would have told you it's just superstitious bullshit. That we are all designers of our own destinies. That belief shattered when the richest woman in the United States, the actual richest one, not a face you could have seen in the papers, of course, sank her teeth deep into my neck. It happened in the very same place you're standing in right now, by the way. Fate? You decide. Please, there's absolutely no need to be hostile. Just listen a little longer. See, my mistake was that I flew too close to the sun. It makes sense that my punishment was to never see its glow again. I was incandescent myself. I was hot shit. I had it all. Money, looks, confidence, connections, men, women, a career, and a spark in my eye. The one you need to be born with. And that's when someone far more powerful than me saw my radiance and thought, that won't do. And I forget the name of the clan. Because he said all of this and handsome and whatnot. I was saying, then you were made into a, then I was made into a Nosferatu. There we go. There we go. What do you mean, dark? Look it up. We'll probably run into, they probably have the clan names, I forget, in the dictionary. She robbed me of the light erupting from within and gave me a subtle, enduring gleam in its place. She decided that would fit me much better. I actually don't remember who this person is, if I ever figured it out. Like I said, it's been a while since I played. I think I played these games last summer on my own. I should have checked when I last played this game. Oh well, whatever. She was a 9th generation Kindred, just like you. An apex predator. She probably enjoyed teaching me. The peak of human excellence, my real place in the food chain. It's such an eyesore when you look at some loudmouth braggart and see them for all they really are. The temptation to teach them a lesson can be unbearable, right? Well, my sire's lesson was a lesson about fate. A message saying, you're eternally doomed to be at the mercy of your sovereigns. It almost drove me to destroy myself. What saved me was the ability to reinterpret her teachings. Hers wasn't a message of doom, it was a message of hope. Fate exists, and one can shape it if given the right tools. My sire didn't believe my tools were fitting for the job. She considered them toys, and me, just her amusing subject. Well, she's deader than dead now, and I'm still here, standing right where she stood when we first met. You might have wondered why, or wondered how I've learned about your arrival to JFK Airport. Oh, okay, I think I know who this is. Okay, sorry. I don't remember everyone's names, but I think I know who this is. Anywho, my answer is, of course, destiny. Which, of course, I'm giving the wrong voice than if it's who I think it is. As luck would have it, today happened to be a day some of my associates were inspecting the coffins. Driving here straight from the plane and having you wake up in such an unfamiliar place was a little desperate, and I do apologize for it. But it is so rare for you to visit New York. 3 times in the last 15 years, was it? And you're never eager to inform me you're here. I understand you still have the meeting on 53rd Street later tonight, so I'll provide a comfortable transport. I value our relationship very much, don't get me wrong. But it is precisely because I value it that I'm going to ask you to repay the favor you owe me. Bones! Is that we're going to pop up right after this? I don't remember. You're the only one I trust to do the job well, and without attracting attention. You might think I'm crazy asking you to breach the rules of our society like this. You might think it's impossible to get away with it unpunished. Oh, wait, hold on. Now they will mention about that later. Okay. But this is New York, and I don't know about other cities, but in this one, fate really exists. Well, not in LA. Oh, there's that going on. And right now, it's smiling in your favor. This is how it begins. Oh yeah, I gotta have to. Okay, I will be switching to water in a moment. I'm finishing up my cherry coke. Well, cherry cola. But literally, it does say cherry coke. No brand. No brand edition. And it bothers me because, I guess that C is bigger, so technically it's capitalized. Just all the letters are lowercase on it. Speaking or eat or drinking soda, yeah. You stifle or yawn. Oh no, it's not gonna be my voice because it's still Narata. It's been a slow evening. The little bit of red liquid left in your glass and the crumbs on the plate remind you that, if nothing... Oh no, why did I choose this game? If nothing else, these art exhibits at least come with some decent wine and legit catering. And yeah, it's fun to talk about your work on display, even if you end up discussing it with pretty much the same people at each such occasion. You've already met that one critic who keeps yelling you, or keeps telling you, with self-assured authority, how you should pursue a different artistic avenue. Then there's the obligatory doe-eyed art student who's oh so impressed with your technique. To be fair, you're not all that happy with your latest piece, but hey, it's not the worst thing you've seen tonight. That ignoble, dubious honor belongs to one of the other paintings on display. And yet, its author, currently being paraded around by his rich parents, has barely been able to grab a bite of the fancy, canapes? Sure, canapes. So much sycophants to meet, so little time. For a moment you think that maybe it's not worth it. Maybe you should take the critic's advice. Cut your losses, sell out to some corporation, get it over with. And, as if the universe wanted to validate that train of thought, that's the exact moment your sister Emma decides to pop up in your review. So let me get this straight. Cushy corporate jobs are selling out, but supporting a billionaire's vanity project is totally fine with you. Hi, Em. You absolutely despise her as an artist. While you're struggling to uphold some nebulous ideals of what art is meant to be, she's perfecting her way of mooching off the system. Shamelessly preying on little-known street art and niche internet memes, she repackages them as bougie-friendly collages. So it's perhaps no wonder the NYT, would you say the in front of it when you abbreviate it? No wonder NYT has recently, no wonder the NYT. I guess you could, it works either way. New York Times has recently dubbed her a mind-blowing explorer of digital art's extreme possibilities. But in spite of all that, you absolutely love her as a person, even as you welcome her by smacking the back of her head, a gesture meant to convey nothing but deep affection. No, but seriously, supporting young artists my ass. I don't know what kind of money you got for this piece, but I doubt it was even a fraction of what's going to be worth in tax benefits. The gallery owner actually said that if he had to choose his most valuable audience, it would be the IRS. And I'm pretty sure he was only half kidding. You mumble a non-answer and then segue into a different subject. Yes, segue. Wait, that's not segue. Is it segue? Oh gosh. Oh no. I was going to comment out, it doesn't look like segue even though it is, and now I don't know. Oh man. I am an English professor. Oh gosh. To be quite honest, I have been tired, and my phone is charging, and I'm too lazy to grab it right now to double check how to pronounce that word. Anywho, we're going to say segue because, and then seg into a different, can you say seg? Dark is overthinking this. Oh well, whatever. Try into a different subject. Trying to preemptively quell her repeated offers to get you a steady job. Of course, she proves as insistent as ever. You know, sometimes I just don't get you. On the one hand, you want to be caught dead taking money from the inevitable winner of the culture wars. On the other, if someone gave you the chance to collaborate on some dumbass Oscar bait flick sponsored by Larry Ellis's bailout fund, I don't know who Larry Ellison is, I'm sorry, you do that shit for free. I really don't. She rolls her eyes and asks, you know what the only difference is between the art scene and the culture industry? The culture industry actually pays your bills. As expected of someone who's given up on attempts to infuse her work with any sort of enduring quality and decided to just keep responding to the zeitgeist. She claims to happily accept the fact that after she dies, both she and her work will end up in a landfill. When you respond that you prefer chasing a 1 in a million chance to immortalize yourself, she claims it reeks of an overinflated ego. But you've been down this road too many times before and managed to accept she'll never understand what's truly important to you. Slowly but surely, you move on to more agreeable topics. Your plans to finally get hammered tonight, or the most recent crop of garbage Netflix shows your friends have tricked you into trying out. I almost thought about playing one of the newer Tomb Raider games because they're on. I forgot to switch any of the games that were in my external hard drive to the PS4 Pro. And they were both on there, but then I forgot which one was first, and then I thought, you know what, that would involve me having to think more because it is an action game, adventure game, and I'm like, ugh, I don't want to deal with that. Even if it probably will be able to record in a HD setting on like the definitive edition. Definitive edition, my ass. Wasn't even 480. I mean, I could have said if it was 360, you could still see it, but what was it, 240? Nah, you cannot. Anyway, and yet that's one of my playthroughs, so if you want to see it, go check it out. God. Or watch someone who didn't record through the console to play it. There's that too. Anyway. Alright, gotta go. I've got a date. She peeks at a bunch of middle-aged men in expensive suits who have stopped pretending to care about the exhibition and are exchanging the worst lecherous jokes they've got in their stale repertoire. Have fun with your friends, class traitor. What, you're the one who's bougie selling packages of art. Anyway, to culture, or for culture, or whatever. She gives you a hug and heads for a nearby elevator. There goes the pleasant part of the evening. Still, you decide to deal with the inevitable and catch a quick smoke break. No, I smoke! Damn it. Why do I smoke? Again, if you're a smoker, that's fine, and you're also a special snowflake. I know, I need not say that because that's used to say other things nowadays, but whatever. But yes, Dark doesn't smoke. Dark doesn't smoke, he rarely drinks. If he does drink, it's usually non-alcoholic, so most people consider that not drinking. I'm a boring man. Truth be told, people aren't exactly lining up to chat about your work anyway. As you leave your post, you start tapping your pockets in search of a lighter. Instead, you find a $100 bill you're absolutely sure wasn't there before. Yeah, your sister gave it to you. Or my sister. Jesus Christ, Em, you're the worst. And the best. You can feel your cheeks turn red, but you gratefully put the money in your wallet and move outside. When you reach the balcony, you look at... I don't think I've actually seen a $100 bill in real life. No, I have not. Actually, I've told my students before. Like, you wouldn't want to carry a $100 bill with you because, you know, if you got mugged. Yeah. At most, I've only seen 20. No, have I carried a 50 before? I might have carried a 50. But usually it's 20s and under. But I guess nowadays people don't carry cash. I don't know. Whatever. When you reach the balcony, you look out at New York City and light the second last cigarette left in the pack. Oh, FYI, we're in New York City, folks. Anyway. You're alone. It's not silent. The metropolitan hum is ever present, even this high up, but it's a good deal more intimate than what's behind your back. Actually, I'm curious what this looks like when it's static and not dynamic. I didn't turn that option off, now did I? Okay, just seeing. I'm thinking we didn't have any dictionary words yet. Now what does the log look like? Oh, the beginning. Your introduction to the world of darkness begins now. Ooh. Okay. You lean over the railing and look down. The street lights beckon more than usual. In your mind's eye, you see yourself as your final artwork, beautifully splattered over the pavement. Oh, dear Lord. Working title, Delusion of Grandeur. The author, a brilliant artistic soul, crushed by unfeeling reality, gone too soon. You chuckle and flick the cigarette into the air. Litterer! Freshened up by the night's cold breeze, you see... I don't think people do that with cigarette butts. Oh my god. If it was even the cigarette butt, maybe I only took one draw and then flicked the whole cigarette out. You know, but yeah, no, seriously, it bothers me so much because students and professors and whoever else do it all the time here. And I'm just like, you know, well, especially let's just take on campus. There's clearly a place where you can deposit your trash, and yet you don't. Also, for those who are not smoking in the designated smoking area, I understand you don't want to be smoking in the smoking designated area. You want to smoke wherever you want. But you know what? If you're going to smoke wherever you want, at least throw your freaking trash properly away. Also, don't just put it on the ground where it's still lit up, because, you know, there's a chance it could catch something on fire. Maybe not now, because we're going into the rainy season, and it's humid as F out, so it's fine. But, be that as it may, don't do stupid shit. Anywho, that's PSA. Freshened up by the night's cold breeze, you squeeze back into the stuffy interior. You barely make it a few steps before lethargy sets back in. It's like you never left. Yay! Still, something in the room feels different. Oh, maybe that's why you're lethargic. Your eyes are drawn to a handsome young man, neatly dressed and groomed, exuding the air of a true artiste. And the best part? He's intently looking at your painting. Is that my painting, the one that lit up? Probably. The gallery is almost like an art installation itself. Oh no, they're all lighting up, never mind. Now, art installation itself now. People standing in silent awe, the guy like a beacon drawing everybody's attention. Hushed conversations about the guests can be heard from every corner of the gallery. Your heart is pounding with excitement, and you approach, feeling like a kid trying to get close to a deer in the woods, but afraid you'll scare it away. The man turns to you, and you stop in your tracks, entranced. So this is one of your pieces. That doesn't exude artiste. Sorry, folks. You managed to mumble an affirmation. Tell me about it, please. Don't look at tall, dark, and handsome. Don't look at him. Don't look at him. Don't look at... It's all, right? Or is it presence? It's all. It has to be all. I'm trying to think of which ability, or whatever they're called in Vampire the Masquerade. It's not abilities, it's whatever they're called. But anyway, I'll pick up the name. They haven't continued New York by night yet, so... Yes, I've watched it. I watched the first 2 seasons. I don't know if they are going to, because it's like... I don't know, the second season kind of... I mean, I can see how they could tie things in. If they're going to have the first 2 seasons cast mix for it. Anyway, whatever. You gotta watch it, folks. As you start discussing your inspiration, technique, and process, the man's eyes lock onto the painting again. He keeps interjecting, making knowing remarks. This guy gets it. He really gets it. The world around you disappears. You'll say anything, do anything to keep his attention on you. But you realize you don't need to. He's into your art. He's into you. I want to buy it. And I want your company. I need to talk to you. You will like what I have to say. Spoken matter-of-factly, served straight up, like he knows that you won't refuse, that you can't refuse. An hour later, you find yourself at his apartment, one of many, you presume, with your self-esteem, but all but patched up and your head full of fine vintage. You tell your host a lot. In fact, it seems like you're telling him everything. Where you came from, how you ended up in NYC, how you had to take out a loan to appear at tonight's event, or dear Lord, how you took the long look down the balcony, that you thought about taking the plunge, and this time you were only half joking. You feel miserable. You start crying. He holds you in his arms. You feel calmer. The tears stop flowing. It's been a long time. It's been so long since you last had someone you could not just talk to, but communicate with, be seen by. Who knows? Maybe there is hope for you yet. That feeling of bliss is the last thing you remember before passing out. Next thing you know, you're lying on the couch in that same apartment, hungry and dehydrated. How long has it been? Hours? Days? More? You're feeling weak, confused, abandoned. You look around in a panic. Is he still here? Thank God, yes, there he is, standing in the doorway. His voice breaks the silence and fills you with hope until you realize what he's saying. I am so sorry. I hope that maybe one night you will forgive me. Always remember that in our parting moment I wished you well. I actually forget what the other two playable characters... I mean, I kind of remember how the stories went, but I don't remember if it's a different character than this vampire. Clearly he's a vampire, and I just got turned. If it's the same guy or if it's a different person. I forget. You try to speak, ask him to stay, but no voice leaves your parched throat. You taste something on your lips. Wiping your mouth leaves a crimson stain on your hands. It's not the wine. What the fuck? The door of the apartment closes behind him. Alone. Again. All alone again. No one here beside me. Then the pain hits. It's a headache. A lurching in your stomach. A burning in your arms and legs. It's all you can focus on. A panic takes you. You fall from the sofa and hit a wine glass. It flies off into a wall, shattering into bits. A mumble from the corner of the room indicates that you're not as alone as you thought. From where you're lying, you only see a feminine shape stirring awake. You crawl toward the woman, inch by inch. The pain turns into an urge. You need to get close to her. You begin to see details. The long hair shrouding her face, the worn-out NYC hoodie thrown over her skimpy dress. She opens her eyes, moves her locks to the side, exposes her neck. A rabid instinct takes you. In the blink of an eye, you find yourself buried in her hair, smelling her sweat mixed with just a hint of cheap perfume. You bite down and drink the blood from her vein. Wait. What is happening? You break away. You look at the girl. She lets out a sigh, goes limp and unconscious again. Legs. You try to crawl back. Her dress rolled up to the side, and you glance at her naked thighs. You lose control again. Bite her leg. Drink deep from the artery. It's intoxicating. It's bliss like you've never known before. It's beautiful. It's pure art. You break away again. Fall to your back. What the hell was that? Did you really drink her blood? She's not moving. Oh God, she's not moving. Killed a college student. You check her pulse. She's cold to the touch. Nothing. No heartbeat. No sign of breathing. That's when it hits you. Your chest isn't moving either. Your heart is not beating. You're cold to the touch. You reach for your phone. It's not there. Where did you leave it? Or maybe he took it? It's impossible to say. You stumble around the apartment but find nothing you can use to call for help. You need to get out of here now. You look outside the window. You're high above the streets. There's no balcony, and the building's exterior is glass almost all the way down. You never survive the jump. Well, actually... You're just going to a comatose state, but we won't talk about that right now. But maybe that's precisely why you should leave the room this way. You've just killed somebody. Your life is essentially over. A sickening void is opening in your stomach, warning you that your reality is about to turn into unbearable hell. A voice in the back of your head tells you that the smartest course of action is to take the leap before it does. And the more you argue with it, the more reasonable it sounds. What was that? You're just about ready to pick up one of the chairs and try to break the window when you hear the clicking of keys in the lock. You freeze in place. This is bad. Your thoughts start racing desperately, but instead of a rational course of action, only visions of false hope come to your mind. What if it's him? What if he's had a change of heart? What if he sent someone for me? You almost feel your heart beat again with excitement as the doors open. Almost, but not quite. A man enters, but not the one you expected. He's tall, broad-shouldered, handsome, with darkish skin. His suit is stylish and immaculate. He's very handsome. I like him. Anyway. The artwork is good in this game. I like the artwork. You've never seen him in your life, but you immediately see past his sharp looks to see his sharper nature. He is a predator. And if you're not careful, you might become his prey. He's handsome! Okay. I forget his name right now. See, that's how handsome he is. I forget his name. I know who he is, but I forget his name. What voice should I give? Good evening. I'm here to pick you up. A deep, emotionless voice. He turns his eyes to the lifeless body of the girl in the NYC hoodie and raises an eyebrow. Yeah. I mean, ultimately, a lot of the choices don't really matter. Well, the fluff choices I don't think really matter too much in this game. I'll just admit it. I killed her. I think I killed her. Yes, that does seem to be the case. He approaches the bed to examine the corpse from up close. Well, this is unfortunate, but preferably to going insane from hunger. Quite a nice gesture, actually, if troublesome. He briefly looks at you with something like pity in his eyes, then changes his expression to a perfectly blank one. I know why. Because he saw Sartoria door. Okay. Listen. You may perceive your current situation as something out of the ordinary, but I've met hundreds of lost sheep like you, and you see, they tended to fall into two categories. First, there were the smart ones, those who carefully obeyed my every word and didn't pull off any stupid stunts. They always got where they needed to go safe and sound. Then, there were the dumb ones. The punks who thought they could take me on. The wise guys who tried to contact somebody secretly and without permission. The troublemakers who tried to turn off or make a scene. None of them go to their destination in one piece. In fact, a lot of them never reach their destination at all. Also, I'm trying to figure out why I don't have all the trophies in this game. Oh, I know why. If I remember correctly, it has nothing to do with this opening scene. Well, in the actual game, they're called scenes. But, but this chapter, introductory chapter, if I remember correctly, I remember reading some stuff online that you could completely do the bad choices in this opening scene and you don't get killed. Yes, you can die in this game, folks. Yeah, you don't die in the opening scene, even if you try to run away from him, which I won't be doing. We'll see these options shortly, but anyway. The man talks in a bored, professional tone, giving off an impression that he really has delivered this speech countless times by now. So you see, despite being a smart person, I'm a Mets fan. I love baseball, and it inspired me to come up with a 3-strike system to determine if someone is dumb. If you get on my nerves 1 or 2 times, well, I understand. Not all of us perform well in stressful circumstances. But if you do it 3 times, understand that there will be no excuse, no forgiveness, no mercy. His presence changes ever so slightly. Okay, that's presence. Say, I understand, sir. Now. Gosh, kinky. Okay, anyway. You feel an overwhelming, barely resistible urge to fulfill his demand. Fuck you, sir. What are you talking about? I understand, sir. Yeah, oh, sorry, I forgot. You selected, then your character will actually say. I keep forgetting. I understand, sir. Excellent. Alright, have you got anyone you'd like to inform about your current situation and tell them you're alright? He flashes his fangs briefly as he talks, and for some reason, the sight causes a chill to run down your spine, not up my spine, down my spine. Same difference, really. I don't really know. I guess down sounds scarier than up. Something's wrong with him. Someone closest to you? Don't think I always do this same one. Emma, my sister. She's probably having a night out in Brooklyn with her artiste friends. Can I call her now? You take out your phone while asking the question. It was in your pocket all along. I must have been panic talking before. He shakes his head and points at the hooded corpse next to him. If you want to implicate her, go ahead. I think we'd all be better off if you let me make sure that she only knows what she needs to know. Yeah, agreed. Give me her phone number. I'll have someone get in touch with her. You oblige and hand him the smartphone so he can copy the number from your list of contacts. Thank you. This will be useful in illustrating my next point. Instead of giving you back your phone, the man hides it in his pocket. I thought he just destroys it in front of you. Maybe not. From this night onwards, you are subject to different laws than the ones you grew up with, and you'll be watched by many eyes to ensure these laws are respected. You are forbidden from letting anyone know you're still alive. You're forbidden from showing your face anywhere they know you. If anyone comes to search for you, it's over, both for you and them. He interrupts his monotone recitation to stare deep into your eyes. So if you don't want anyone to find your poor sister's body in the Hudson River next week, cooperate. The sight of his fangs again, and another physical fight or flight response. It's always second, Dark, not first. You've played right into his hands, putting M in danger. Yes, but also lying to him and run away is not going to really work. Run away. Sorry. I can only hope that you care for her enough not to do anything selfish. By now, you are absolutely sure he's just toying with you, provoking you just to feed on your reactions. He hasn't told you where you're going yet, but he's already made it abundantly clear that a lot of people struggled hard to avoid getting there. If you were playing as Amanda, they do change this up a little bit, saying that, because he's a man and you're a woman, so they do that, but it's like, no, you don't. I think I may have done a little bit of pushing with her because she's a Ventrue, but yeah. But even then, it wasn't like major. You'd be far more eager to cooperate if he never raised the subject. But he made it a point to make you fear the unknown. He's pushing you, but to what end? Does he want to intimidate you into complete submission? Is he hoping you'd give him an excuse to get rid of you? Or maybe he's testing you, forcing you to show what you're made of. Somehow he makes all of these options seem plausible at once. Alright, I think that's enough lectures for today. He takes a glance at his silver watch. It's a Patek Philippe. I don't even know. Nope, don't know. The kind of brand mere mortals never see outside of luxury lifestyle magazines. I don't think I've ever seen, because I don't look at luxury magazines. I don't look at any, anyway. Just who are you dealing with here? A former mafia. It's past 3 a.m. now. The sun will come up in just a few hours, so we don't have much time. Actually, yeah. Is this summer or winter? If it's winter, oh boy, but it's probably summer. Let's be real. Actually, if it's in a few hours, it's probably summer. 5:45 in the morning! Well, 41. I don't know if it's 45 yet. Where I'm located, I was actually able to go to sleep. Well, I went to bed almost to close to midnight, but I didn't wake up until like 5. I was like, oh my gosh, 5 completely full hours of blissful sleep. That's amazing. I don't know why I get freaked out when I see people. No, my colleague has some guests over. I usually don't see people, that's why. My gosh, I'm going to be able to actually hear tons of English when I'm back in the USA. It's going to be so strange. Also, I have to get used to speaking. Actually, you have to get used to people understanding what I'm saying, supposedly. More people understanding what I'm saying, let's rephrase that. Anywho. Come, we need to leave so that the corpse can be taken care of. He turns his back on you to unlock the door. Take him from the back! I'll wait for the police. Head out. Okay. You barely follow him out of the room before he locks it again. He managed to take a funny glimpse of the corpse. You feel a pang of conscience, but not because of your victim's horrible fate. It's because you don't feel guilty even though you know you should. Something important inside of you that was still there yesterday has definitely died tonight. A soul. You wonder if you'd even recognize yourself in the mirror. Well, you're not that vampire. You're not La Sombra, so you will be able to recognize yourself. Wait, is it the Sombra? I know they're the ones that have issues with technology, but yeah, it's also mirrors. It's also mirrors. Yeah. Technically, a mirror is a technology. Anyway, the stranger shows you to the elevator. You go to the ground floor. During an awkward ride, your dazed and confused mind desperately searches for a glimmer of hope, and eventually comes across one. Maybe you'll find the man you met earlier this night. Do you know what happened to the man who brought me here? That's what I'd like to know. As of yet, he is unidentified. They have left no trace, and it's obvious they are not planning to come back for you. If, and that is a big if, you ever see him again, it will be tomorrow, and probably for the last time. What do you mean for the last time? His face is inscrutable. I said what I said. All I can add for now is, tomorrow is a big night for you. The elevator door opens to an empty hall. You walk outside past the night guard's post, which is empty. The cold night air reminds you of the balcony. Just a few hours ago, the man motions to a black Cadillac Escalade. Take a seat in the back, please. What I like about this game is that whenever you're in cars, the driver's always staring at you. Like to the viewer, it's it's so cute. Okay. Also, this is a good car. It doesn't have any of the fucking touchscreen bullshit or rear view camera crap. Yes, I'm that person. I don't like any of that. I think I've explained that. It won't go beep 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 beep. Oh my gosh. My mom's like, so you know, you don't have to hit a kid. I'm like, did you ever hit a kid when you drove in the past? I don't think you did. And if you did, you probably wouldn't have told me. But no, you didn't. And also, where you live, Mom, there are no children. They're all old people. That's mostly true. I mean, there's obviously there's a high school in that small town. Oddly enough, probably. Now I think it's probably the county high school. Small town life. Oh gosh, I'm not ready for that. And yet well, I'll talk about it later. But yeah, I live in such a small town. But yeah, I'm like, there's no freaking kid in the. Unless you have a big driveway, you'd see the kid before you back up and hit them. Anywho, what I'm saying is that this is a good vehicle. You get inside. The man closes the car door behind you. You hear a click as it locks. The Cadillac is almost entirely dark. The side windows seem light-proof. Yeah, totally not legal, I bet, even in New York City, but, you know, it's cool. You're vampires. The man gets... Actually, in Korea... Oh, this is what's different about at least USA. See, USA, you wouldn't. Well, I don't. Well, it probably depends on state by state, because of course it does, because it's USA. But you know, depending upon where you are, your window tint can't be a certain grade. I personally don't like it dark because, for me, it's a communication to pedestrians. You don't know what the driver's wanting you to do, you know, because you can't see them, and that's obnoxious. In Korea, oh, they have their tent. It's like this. They can have it fucking dark, and they do. I actually don't understand how luxury limousines and stuff, how they get away with it, whatever. But they're like an exception, and of course, the president's vehicle and whatever. And any famous celebrity people, but well, actually, no, that's not true. It has to be certain limousine things. But yeah, I could be wrong with that. I don't really know. But yeah, in Korea, the window tint is dark. I mean, some people have lighter ones, but like, I'm someone who's like, I want every vehicle to go past me before I cross the street because I don't trust any driver. And so, like, if someone's trying to motion me to go across, I'm like, I can't see you when your window is a shade darker than night. I mean, come on now. The only positive with the dark shades is that when it's sunny out, you're protected. I don't know. Well, actually, I don't know if that's true. I don't know if it's UV protection. Probably isn't. It might be, but it probably isn't. What I don't like about it is that it makes it really dark in the vehicle. Like, I get tired. I don't like that. This is it because I take taxis. Which is something I'm not going to be doing in the USA. Actually, depending on where I live, I probably won't be able to do. Also, they're expensive in the USA. But, anywho, yes, tinted windows. The man gets into the driver's seat, starts the engine, and drives away without comment. I feel horrible, as you should. He gives you a little side glance in the rearview mirror and bites his lip. Forgive me, I'm not in a talkative mood. This won't be a long drive. Patience. Dead silence fills the car. You close your eyelids and sink back into your thoughts. A blurry after image of the man who bought your painting is still there. It's strange. You never felt this way about anybody. It makes you happy. Even though you have the nagging thought that there is something fundamentally abusive about this attraction. But then the girl's hair spilled over the purple hoodie and her blood spilled over the cold floor come into sharp focus. You wince. You want to cry, but it's as if there were no more tears left in you. After what feels like an eternity, the car comes to a stop. You get out in an underground parking lot. It's an ugly, concrete, gray thing. Empty, but for the car you came in. It looks like there's a room beyond a metal door in the wall. Guess you'll live to see another night. Follow me. He opens the middle door and lets you inside. Here we are. These are your lodgings for tonight. If you get hungry again, take a look in the fridge. Tomorrow I will come pick you up. The cramped room has no windows, just a simple bed, a single light bulb hanging from the ceiling, a small humming fridge, and a rattling AC fan in the wall. It is all the coziness of a solitary prison cell. You notice claw marks on the inner side of the entrance door. That's right, it is. You gotta have some mercy, man. Let me go. Ha! Mercy? Mercy. No, too late for that. Listen, normally I'd lose my nerve right about now and things would get nasty. But I get it. You're scared. You don't understand what happened. Trust me, you will learn more tomorrow. But now, I need you to rest. And you need to rest. He gestures inside the room. Finding no more willpower to resist, you step inside. The stranger nods contently. Good night. He locks the door behind you. It looks very secure and sturdy. You open the fridge. There's a single plastic bag there, filled with red liquid, unlabeled. Tomato soup? Oh, yeah, tomato soup! You feel sick to your stomach. Best leave it for now. Because, tomato soup has a crimson looking... It looks crimson, yeah. You lie down on the bed. It is a simple mattress on a metal frame, kind of grimy and damp. Seeing it makes you grimace, but you're just too tired not to lie down. Your entire body hurts, a dull feeling that makes you feel heavy. You feel vulnerable and lonely. Usually, when that happened, you would turn your attention to painting, just to not think about the alternative. Your family upbringing left you with no skills but artistic talent. Creating art used to be something of an unpleasant duty. Somewhere along the line, though, it became the only weapon you had to fight with existential despair. Some of your best work was created in lieu of impotently crying in bed. Huzzah! Hell, you're pretty sure a few of those pieces had your tears mixed in with the paint, like the painting that led your whole night to this. You look back at your life, and it starts looking like a downward spiral. You're so tired, your entire body tenses up, and before you know it, you drift away into oblivion. You wake up. That in and of itself is a surprise. You barely remember when you drifted off. It didn't feel quite like sleep, more like plummeting into an endless void. You imagine that's how death feels like. Honestly, if I were a vampire, I'd probably be happy because then I wouldn't need a fucking CPAP machine. But hierarchy of vampires, yeah, that would suck. But that's if it's like Vampire the Masquerade. Who knows? We don't know. I haven't actually talked with a vampire. I've never had an interview with a vampire. Oh, okay. Anyway, I should read those books from her. I only have the movie, which is totally not the same. The room is unchanged. The lamp is still on, the AC is still rattling, the refrigerator is still humming. I always think refrigerator has a D in front of the G, and I know it doesn't because clearly it's not there, but I always feel like it does. I don't know why. Anyway, it looks better to me if there was a D. You take a look at your watch. It's almost 9 p.m. You slept for 17 hours straight. Wait. That's not right. How could you have slept for 17 hours? Because, when he picked you up, it was 3 a.m. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Actually, I counted 18 hours. No, okay, whatever. Okay, fine, it was 17 hours, supposedly. I swear you said 3 a.m. Anyway. And of course that could be when you got here, would have been later. Anywho, fine, you got here by 4 a.m. Fine, it was 17 hours. Interesting. Oh, we just wake up early, that's why I'm thinking less time. Okay, anywho. Maybe you died. Your breath is gone and you feel no thumping in your chest. Does that qualify as dead if you're still conscious? Undead! You're not sure about that, but you are certain about one thing. You are hungry. It's not your stomach rumbling, though. Is it a little demon voice in your head? It's a knee that starts somewhere in your abdomen and spreads to your chest, throat, and back of the head. You open the fridge. See, when you shorten it, you add a D. I guess you don't want to say frige. The bag is still there. It's so weird. That's why I always think you should have a D, is because when you shorten refrigerator to fridge, you have a D. It's so weird. You take a closer look at it. If it is soup, come on. The color, then its color and texture are off. You pull the cork out, take a whiff. You recognize the smell immediately. Holy shit. There's no mistaking it. It's bagged blood. The smell is faint, and you remember some situations in the past where you found it nauseating, but now it's almost... No, not almost. It is enticing. Drink the blood! It feels wrong, but right now, there's barely anything in your life that doesn't. To hell with it. You pour a bit of the liquid into your mouth. It tastes bland. Reminds you of cheap supermarket juice. Just enough flavor to register as what it claims to be on the box, but nothing like the real thing. Nothing like what you had the last time. You swallow it. Somehow you don't feel sick. In a weird, messed up way, you can't help but think it feels nourishing. You take a few more sips, which didn't sound like sips, but whatever. And then just another one. Suck on the bag a little more. Eventually you find that you've emptied it entirely. You look at the info pressed into the side of the bag, 450 milliliters of it. 450 milliliters? I have 500 milliliter bottles here of cherry Coke and water. Well, I mean, not full now, but yeah. It's not a lot. That's a lot probably for a body. Well, it's not a lot for a body, because a body has a lot of blood. Anyway, whatever. Even with its blandness, you still feel like you like having more. You realize your body longs for that intoxicating high you felt when an image of that corpse crosses your mind, causing you to wince. What have you become? You try to piece your thoughts together, make sense of it all, when you hear the lock click and see the door open. Standing there is the well-dressed stranger you met yesterday. Immaculate suit again, that predatory look like a hawk on a hunt, but somehow more relaxed tonight. So, like a tamed hawk, maybe. Good evening. Slept well? He notices the discarded emptied bag. I see you had a bit of a snack. Am I still a human being? Luckily, one does not typically shed their entire humanity in 2 nights. You should be fine. Come on, we've got places to be. The car is humming in the parking lot. In the parking lot just outside the door of the cramped room you have spent the day in. The man motions to it, politely, but with a stern look on his face. Rush the stranger. Hijack the car! Get inside the car. Okay, lead the way. After you. You take the back seat again. The door is locked. The stranger takes the wheel and starts the car. You drive in silence for a while. From time to time, you keep trying to catch glimpses of familiar streets or landmarks, though, or through the blackened windows, but it's of little use. The car is also soundproofed, so all you can hear is a bit of traffic humming in the car's engine. The driver doesn't say anything and seems focused on the road. You check the door handle. Yeah, the door is locked all right. The piece of dark glass separating you and the front of the car looks sturdy too. There's nothing left to do but wait. You didn't have time to think about it before, but you realize now that you're hungry? No, not exactly. It's not a rumbling stomach that grabs your attention. It's a need that starts somewhere in your abdomen and spreads to your chest, throat, and back of the head. You try to extract some information out of the man behind the wheel, but you realize you'd prefer to bask in the afterglow of your last meal. You wouldn't have expected it, but you spend the rest of the trip lost in your thoughts. A lot of them concern blood. It takes you another 20 or so minutes to get to your destination. As the door opens, you try to get your bearings. You're still in New York, that much is certain. Queens, maybe. I have no fucking idea, and I don't care. I'm never going to go to New York City. Well, not my own free will. That's just I don't really care. It's a huge city. I know, I've been to Seoul, I've been to Tokyo. But it's larger. Also, it's USA, so it's different. It's different. Wait, you know exactly where you are. The nice-looking two-story building has a logo you immediately recognize. The Art Hole, an avant-garde gallery, used to hold that collection of bagged viscera and body parts by, you can't quite remember the guy's name. He's Brazilian, you think. Fabio something or other? After me. No sudden movements, please. Never been inside, not quite your style, but the place has quite the cult following. You keep racking your brain for more facts, hoping they'll help you with whatever you got into. I was thinking whatever you got yourself into. That's what I was trying to add. The two large men in suits flank the door to the gallery on both sides, and they give your companion a nod as you approach. Prompted by the stranger who guides you, you walk inside. The gallery is full, which is unusual at this hour, to say the least. About 24 faces fill the showroom, and a number of waiters navigate the gathering, serving drinks. All of them are beneath the guests' attention. The visitors are well dressed for the most part, but it's unclear what they have gathered here for. I know. Nobody seems to be particularly interested in the art pieces on the walls, and the atmosphere is polite, unnaturally so. Many guests turn to look at you and the stranger who brought you here. Their glances are varied. You see open contempt on a few faces and animated interest on others. Most of the eyes in the room calmly observe you, as if wishing to appraise your worth. Memories come back to you like a bad case of PTSD. How many times before had someone judged you, impassively or decisively, through your art? You'd share a piece of yourself with the world, and it'd respond by making you feel like garbage. It always It always took a lot of effort to not lose your cool and tell all of them to shove their opinions up their collective asses. Now, looking around, it feels like you've become another artwork as commodity to be judged by a bunch of obscenely wealthy, out-of-touch assholes. It makes you want to scream. I don't know how, I forget how his name is pronounced. Good evening, Kadar, and to you, child. The noble, cold voice takes you out of your head and back to the situation at hand. The gallery, a crowd of strangers. You being here against your will, for what purpose? The room awaits your response. Good evening, miss. You're addressing the Prince of New York City, Helene Panhard, child of Michaela. Thank you, my sheriff, but I'm capable of introducing myself. She is somewhat plain-looking and doesn't seem to possess a great deal of charm, but still the entire room is intently focused on her voice. She has influence over these people, that much is clear. You may address me as Prince, child. I realize your introduction into unlife was abrupt, and I understand your sire left shortly after. The rules of our society dictate I punish you both for this transgression. A murmur of agreement, maybe, can be heard from the gathered audience. But I am willing to listen to what our loyal sheriff has to say about the circumstances of your embrace first. It's best to remain silent. You decide it's best to stay silent and listen to the whole situation unfold. It feels like you're out of your depth here. Shall we begin? You are about to be judged by the court of New York City. Kadar, please tell us how you found this fledgling and what happened on your way here. Court? Prince? Is this some kind of secret society make-believe? A trusted informant, who has chosen to remain anonymous at this time, tipped me off about a suspicious kindred appearing in one of our domains. Upon investigating, I found them gone, but this fledgling remained in their place. Interestingly, his sire made use of an older haven of one of the clan of the Rose for the embrace. They were even thoughtful enough to have a local woman for the fledgling to slake his thirst on. Despite some reservations, he offered little resistance last night and cooperated on our way to the safe house. I was pleased to not have to force his compliance. We had a quick chat, but wishing to appear here post-haste, I urged him to join me, which he did without struggle. A pleasant departure from my usual routine, I must say. His thirst particularly slaked with the bagged blood we kept in the safe house. We had a pleasant enough drive here. The story ends with us arriving at Elysium tonight. All eyes are on you again. You take a special interest in one of the faces. It's a beautiful woman with curly, almost blood-red hair and a dress to match. You see her whispering to some bespectacled man. I can read! With an absent-minded look on his face. Who is she, you wonder? Thank you, Kadar. I take note of this fledgling's behavior and will take it into consideration later. She turns her attention to you. First, there is the matter of your sire, the person who brought you where Kadar picked you up from last night. Who were they? He was beautiful, charismatic, charming. Dark hair, a sort of artistic mess. Had an accent I couldn't recognize. He took notice of my art, bought a piece in fact. I want to meet him again. The last sentence came out almost involuntarily. You immediately feel shamed, sounding like a sad puppy whimpering after the master. Yes, you do want to meet the man again. It's an urge deeper than you've ever felt. Maybe even love? No, that's idiotic. He never even introduced himself to you. He used you. That asshole just plain used you. For what? Well, Kadar, does that sound familiar? No, it does not. Or at least not familiar enough. I'll continue the search after we're done here. It's a lie. But that guy, he bought my painting at the gallery. Didn't pay in cash, I think. Maybe you can track him that way? Oh, did your outlook on him change all of a sudden? He smirks, seemingly enjoying your misery. Personal jab aside, thank you for that observation. I will investigate this later. What shall I do with the fledgling, my prince? What is your recommendation, my sheriff? The traditions are clear. Thou shalt only sire another with the permission of thine elder. If thou createst another without thine elder's leave, both thou and the progeny shall be slain. I am ready to fulfill my duty. Stay your hand for just a moment longer, Kadar. I wish to consult my counsel on this. Make sure everyone is in agreement. Of course. He seems strangely relieved. Yeah, because there's another tour door. No, that's probably the main reason. The other reason is because, it's a fucked up situation. You weren't brought into this, and now you just have to kill someone who just came into this. It's just messed up on so many levels. I will be right back, folks. Listen to the creepy, eerie music. As I knock down bottles, because of course I do. Be right back. didn't pack away certain things earlier, which I'm debating whether or not I'm actually going to take them or I'm just going to leave them here. I mean, ultimately what will happen is, based on what they've done with the past professors who've left, anything that's left in our offices will be gutted for whoever comes in next. And it will probably be another nursing professor, let's be honest, because that's what's happening. Like I mentioned, that department is like the largest on campus, so. And it makes sense that they only need a lot of nurses. Even if certain doctors think otherwise in this country. But I digress. We're not going to talk about politics on something that's important tonight. But and it's something that would make me remember things fondly, but it's not, ultimately it's not something I really need. So yeah, I'm probably just going to leave them, and they're just going to get tossed. But anyway, had I packed them earlier, I would only have this semester stuff to deal with, and that wouldn't be an issue packing that up. But anyway, whatever, it is what it is. There was something I want to mention. But I can't think anything at the moment. Anywho. Why is it such an issue for me to speak? It's not like I really talked during this day anyway. Oh. I have to get used to speaking a lot when I go back to the USA. I'm dreadfully scared about going back to the USA. Just for not... I'm someone, like, I've mentioned this, and I'm probably already mentioned it, but I'm someone who wants to have things planned out and organized, and I'm annoyed that I cannot, and it frustrates me. And the fear of unknown and major change is a big issue. Like, it was obviously a major change coming to Korea, but I don't know. I wasn't freaked out about the prospect until I actually got here. Unlike going back, that's different. I want to be able to have things planned out and I can't, so I'm frustrated. It's like I have the same feeling in dread of the unknown as when I was finishing my MA degree. It's the same dread that I don't know what's going to happen next. It wasn't so much with the BA, which was weird. I'm sure I had dread, but yeah. But it was a lot more, because I can remember at least a lot. It's a similar feeling, not knowing. Oh, I don't like it. Okay. The prince leaves the main showroom, and a handful of people follow her out. You're about to ask this Kadar what all that talk of traditions and councils was. Excuse me. When the red-haired woman approaches the two of you. Sophie. Sheriff, I was wondering if I could have a word with the fledgling. What for? She lowers her voice in response. Come now, Kadar. We all know what the verdict is going to be. Let me speak to them. You might not have to stain your hands tonight after all. Her words grab his attention. His face is hard to read. It's like several emotions are struggling for domination. Anger, sadness, hope, gratitude, resolve. I'll go get my sword. He steps out of the room the way you came, and you are left in the showroom with the woman in the red dress. She takes you aside, and the eyes of the remaining guests follow you. Well then, fledgling, you are in quite the pickle. Wait, did I hear that right? What did he say about a sword? Your hearing isn't faulty. We only have a short while before the prince hears her counsel out, and Kadar returns here with his blade. So, listen please. Last night you became a vampire. Wait, what? Oh yes, I'm well aware of how ridiculous that sounds. It's the reason why we have these nicer words for it. Kindred, being embraced, having a sire, the fact remains. The beings called vampires, you're looking at them. They're us. You glance around. Some of the guests are so occasionally looking at you, commenting on you in hushed tones. Many of the patrons are pale, really pale. Most hold glasses of wine. No, not wine. That's not the right thickness, and not the right color either. You're trying to come up with something sensible to say, but you're drawing a blank. It makes a morbid kind of sense. You drank blood last night, there's no denying it, and your breathing has not returned. Your heart remains still. A vampire. Two voices in your head start battling for supremacy. One of them slowly begins to put everything that happened since yesterday together, coming to a conclusion that no matter how insane it might seem, nothing but what she's saying makes sense. The other voice just keeps saying, "What the fuck? What the fuck?" on repeat. You're surprised. This is often how it plays out by design. Kadar deliberately keeping you in the dark and all. If we do nothing, you will be cut down, as sure as day follows night. But I'm here to offer you a chance, a way out, under one condition. I will take you under my wing. If you're lucky, the prince will be in a good mood tonight, and your deference to Kadar will work in your favor. She might agree to this, but only if you swear fealty to me. I'm not making this offer lightly. As your patron, I will take responsibility for you. Your actions will reflect on me. If they reflect negatively, well, I'll make sure you face the consequences. Hello. What happened? I'll do the first option. Suppose I say yes. What happens then? You survive, hopefully. Or not, depending on the prince's whim. I'm giving you a chance, not a guarantee. But if you take me as your prince, sorry, if you take me as your patron, I will be your guide in this new reality, and you will assist me like a child would a sire. Steps and hushed voices can be heard from this side room. It seems the princes and her council are returning to the showroom. Kadar appears from downstairs as well and starts walking towards you. When you hear the verdict, ask to be spared. I will intervene. Remember my condition. She flashes a heart-melting smile towards Kadar, who does not smile back. That sexy sheriff man doesn't smile back. The sheriff's immaculate suit is now complemented by a curved, oriental-looking metal scabbard fastened with a colorful sash around his waist. It's a scimitar. No. It would look vaguely ridiculous if it wasn't surprisingly intimidating, first and foremost. Kadar takes his place next to you and observes as the prince takes center stage again. Loyal kindred of the New York City Camarilla gathered here tonight. I have made my decision regarding this fledgling. She briefly addresses you. I want you to know that this was not an easy decision to make. For your part, you have not done anything to earn our ire. I do feel a genuine sorrow for what must be done. We are all keenly aware that these nights we need to close our ranks and trust the wisdom of our elders and their traditions more than ever before. There is no place for tolerating dissent when our very existence is under constant threat. Although I acknowledge some of my council's divergent opinions on this, she takes a look specifically at one of the people who left the room before, a rather plainly dressed, shy-looking man, whose skin has a somewhat healthier tone. He bows his head in deference. I hold the final authority over this fledgling's fate, and I declare that while their embrace might be the sire's responsibility, in their absence it is their progeny that must be punished. The sentence is final death, to be resolved presently. Kadar. You hear a scraping sound and see that the sheriff has unsheathed his curved sword. Not the scimitar! It is a beautifully detailed blade, which you expect must be worth a small fortune. Its apparent sharpness makes you freeze up. 2 outs, bottom of the 9th. His quiet mumbles audible to nobody but you. As his eyes meet yours, you note just a hint of sadness in his countenance. one that quickly vanishes to give way to grim determination. And he's out to bat. You will not get another chance to speak up. Okay, so one of the trophies that you get if you didn't do it before is remain silent. Basically, you need to get killed here, because this is the first death in the game, I think, officially. But if I get killed here, the game will not continue. So I'm going to ask for mercy. You make your choice. I don't want to die. Spare me, please. Prince, if I may ask you to stay the sheriff's hand for a while longer? Kadar looks at the prince, awaiting her response. The sword is still hanging above you, threatening to fall at a moment's notice. Is there something you'd like to say, Miss Langley? Yes, if I may. At first, the prince looks somewhat annoyed at the distraction, but she stays quiet for a while, measuring the mood in the room. The bored elites suddenly look at you with aroused interest, some of them dismayed at not seeing the bloodshed, but all intrigued by the unexpected twist. The prince nods. Man, a bunch of bored vampires, dear lord. Well, let's hear it. Sophie takes a few steps forward, all eyes are on her now, but Kadar's heavy hand on your shoulder makes it clear you won't take advantage of the distraction. My prince, while the traditions are clear, I believe that the proper context should be observed in addition to the letter of our laws. This fledgling is a burden, but with proper guidance, they could become an asset to our domain. Am I to understand you are volunteering to take this sireless child under your protection? Yes, I happen to think they might hold a potential that would be unfortunate to waste. I do expect their full cooperation, of course. Whispers can be heard again. Whisper, whisper, whisper. An incredulous voice or two. A hush, just behead the fucker. Ah! Some suppressed exclamations of surprise. Silence. I ask all of you to make a note of this moment. I might be persuaded to bend one tradition in this child's favor, but another will have to be enforced even more firmly in its stead. Until thy Until thy progeny shall be released, thou shalt command them in all things. Their sins are thine to endure. Are you certain that's a responsibility you wish to shoulder, Ms. Langley? I am willing to guide this fledgling and add a valuable ally to our sect in a time of need, yes, but I would like to receive the right of destruction over them, if it pleases you. Remain silent. It's clear tensions are high. It feels surreal to listen to strangers discussing your death, or second death apparently, and keeping silent. You decide it's for the best to let Sophie handle this alone and not interject. You have no idea how to handle this eyes wide shut crowd. Jeez. I still haven't seen that movie, and I don't think I really want to or care to. I mean, when it came out, was I a teenager? Or was I preteen? We were in the old house in Omaha. That's anywhere between youth to, well, youth is all age, but from child to teenager. Well, teenager who can drive. No. Teenager who could drive was moving to the new house. Oh. Although I probably drove over there. Anyway, the point is, I don't know if I was a teenager or younger when that movie came out. Anyway. The prince looks at you as if weighing your worth. She takes another good measure of the room before she speaks again. I shall grant what you ask. Let it be known, Sophie Langley of the Clan of the Rose will become this fledgling's patron. They shall be considered like sire and child. Miss Langley will take full responsibility for them, and I grant her the right of destruction, if she sees fit to use it. Let my intentions be clear, however. If I am to turn a blind eye to one of our most important traditions on this occasion, I expect it to be beneficial to the Camarilla, substantially so. I hope you find this verdict satisfactory, Miss Langley. Of course, Prince. Thank you. Very well. She turns to you. What is your name, child? I'm just gonna say my name, but you don't mess with the prince. Lamar, Prince. She nods. Welcome to the Camarilla, Lamar. Da-da-da! The Camarilla. A major sect of vampires devoted primarily to maintaining the masquerade through influence and manipulation of mortal society. And as we learned in Swan Song, the other major faction is... shit. The Rebels. No, I actually forget the other name. It will pop up later. Yes, I'm tired, folks. I forget. And it's been a while since I've watched a lot of things dealing with the Masquerade. Or Vampire the Masquerade. So, why can't I remember it offhand? I was confused because when I first heard of Vampire the Masquerade, Bloodlines, I thought everyone who were not in the Camarilla were all Brujas, and I thought that was the other group, which that's not. And I'm forgetting the other name right now, but it will pop up because they'll talk about it. Yeah. We're in the Camarilla, bitches! That's why I almost died. Alright. Anywho. Another dictionary term. Now, this evening proved to be even more eventful than I anticipated, but with the fledgling's fate decided, I believe our meeting here can conclude. Fledgling. A newly created vampire still under their sire's protection. Or patron. You know, with a Patreon donation. Gosh, I'm sorry. Thank you all for appearing on such short notice. Give my regards to those who couldn't make it. Kadar, a moment of your time before I let you return to your duties? Of course, Prince. And Prince. A vampire who has claimed a given expansive domain as their own, generally a city, and supports that claim against all others. The term can refer to a kindred of either sex. Yeah, so it doesn't matter if it's a man or a woman. A prince is a prince. Well, man, woman, or whatever you want to go by. I mean, well, they said sex. They didn't say gender there. But there could be other sexes, too. So, yeah. I mean, there are... Okay, let's rephrase that. There are other sexes. It is a biological fact. So let's rephrase that. I'm smart. I'm just tired, folks. Well, maybe I'm smart. I don't know. I don't want to say I am or not. It's too late, I did, but, you know. But Dark, you're a professor. Shh, I know. Anyway. He shoots you a side glance that doesn't leave much space for interpretation. You will be watched. You will be judged. And if need be, you will be punished. The two of them leave the gallery. Well, Lamar, I think we've both already managed to significantly improve each other's evenings. But let's keep the ball rolling, shall we? I think we should have a toast to a new fruitful partnership. She raises her hand at one of the well-dressed concierges. Yeah, that's... Oh my gosh. It's not a common. It's not a traditional English word. Let's rephrase that. It's not an origin in English. Okay, who have now reappeared in the showroom to refill the guests' glasses. The conventionally handsome man approaches with a carafe of red liquid. He pours it into two tall glasses. It's blood again. That much is clear. You're in two minds about drinking it, but the memory of last night's hunger makes you wince. You take a tentative sip. The urge to feed. For vampires, the hunger replaces all other drives with its own powerful call. And if you're watching on World of Darkness, the Vampire Masquerade, Lore Master, Keeper or I forget what the tabletop RPG, what the person who runs it is called. No, Lore Master is for Call of Cthulhu. Cthulhu, yeah. It's I forget it right now, but and I forget the guy who runs it. But if you watch it, like he does it really well with the voice for the hunger. For each character that plays the game on the live action tabletop RPG. Yeah. All right. You expect the same blandness you tasted a few hours ago, but this one you can actually savor. It's smoky and warm, making you think of a cozy cabin in the woods. That sounds good. I'm not a vampire, people. It does strike you as a strange image for your mind to jump to when drinking human blood, but it is what it is. You've never tasted anything like it. Do you like it? I think NYC caterers have very bourgeois ideas about what good blood should taste like. Apologies. You must have so many questions. While we're on the topic, perhaps we should start with those related to sustenance. How much do I have to drink? I feel this hunger constantly. How much do I have to drink to make it go away? The sad reality is, it will never go away. No matter how much you drink, you will always be tempted to have more. Unless you consume someone wholly to the last drop, paying for temporary relief with their life. But that is a one-way road to losing your humanity. But best start by just taking a single sip from a vessel. Be prudent. Hot, fresh blood will be more satiating than most anything they serve in a fancy glass, but it can make you more ferocious. Vessel. I said I wasn't going to do this, but I am. A source of blood for sustenance or pleasure, primarily mortal. I mean, you can also drink rats and other things, but yeah. And if you're a blue blood, if you're a it doesn't mean police, but at least that's what the USA term. I don't know offhand, but a Ventru, you would not drink rats, except. Didn't what's his face drink rats in Vampire the Masquerade Swan Song, which makes absolutely no sense. You know, the sexy guy, which I already forget his name. It's like, why is he drinking rats? He shouldn't be. Actually, no. Didn't it also make him worse off or something? I forget. Wasn't there a trade-off with that? I don't know. But it's ridiculous that I'm remembering now when I had to drink the rats that it marked against you for what other people perceived you as, which makes absolutely no fucking sense. Because first of all, they're there for a reason. Second of all, no one's seeing you. Third of all, it makes no sense. But anyway, I digress. Let's see. Where am I? I already read this. More dictionary terms. As to how much you should have, it depends. If you're frugal, you can survive many nights without a single drink, but it's risky and will tempt the beast that is part of our course. The beast. The incoherent... No, that's not incoherent. The inchoate drives and urges that threaten to turn a vampire into a mindless, ravening monster. Wasn't there a term for that in this game when you become that? I know there is, and I don't remember it offhand. I've never actually played the tabletop RPG. I've only watched it. So, yeah. Tomorrow, I shall take you hunting, and we will explore this topic further. The blood you're having tonight should be enough to keep you happy for now. I mentioned beasts about our sire. What do you mean by hunting? You mentioned a beast. That beast you mentioned, is this a metaphor or... Oh, it's quite real, although not in a strictly physical sense. It lives in all of us, our nature and hunger manifest. Those more religious among us connected to the biblical Cain, the rage of the first murderer, cursed by God, seething in all his descendants. Cain, a mythical figure considered to be the first and most powerful vampire. Some vampires refer to themselves as Cainites, members of the race of Cain. Bum, bum, bum. I, however, am a child of the Enlightenment. Not that it makes my struggle any easier. I have to be wary like every other kindred in this city and beyond. Kindred! The Camarilla term for vampires as a whole, or a single vampire. According to rumor, this term came about in the 15th or 16th century after the Anarch Revolt. What did I do? Oh, I hit new. Even circle is L1. That makes no sense. Individual kindred each have a unique relationship to their beast. What yours is going to be remains to be seen. I'm the same as you, bitch! Oh, well, okay. She doesn't know. Let me rephrase that. She doesn't know. I think she picks up on that later, but she doesn't know right now. And I guess technically I don't know, but I mean you know because you selected which character to play. Yeah. But you do need to understand. No, but you but you do need to keep it under control. Each outburst endangers not just you, but also the Masquerade. Title drop. The Masquerade, the habit or tradition of hiding the existence of vampires from humanity, designed to protect vampires from destruction at the hands of mankind. The Masquerade was adopted after the medieval Inquisition claimed many kindred unlives. And part of that would be in the first Masquerade, or Vampire the Masquerade game, which I forget what it's called offhand. Was it called Vampire the Masquerade Inquisition? I don't really know what it's called, but yeah. I don't think I completely finished watching Big Fatty Plus playthrough of it, oddly enough. I got far into it, and then I think I just stopped. I have a lot of people that I watch on YouTube and on Twitch, so... Okay, that's a lie on Twitch. I predominantly watch one person, although there's others I do have listed. But mainly on YouTube, I have a lot of other people. The main issue I don't watch a lot of people is because I don't live in the USA currently. I mean, that will change in a month's time. Crazy to think I'm almost done with living in... Oh my god. Over 13 years, folks. I know I mentioned this, but over 13 years, I've dedicated my life in the teachings of English, the good language. No, I'm joking on so many levels that could be placed under. But yeah, but no, I'm teaching English in Korea, and it's crazy. 13 years. What would it have been like if I had stayed in the US? Oh, if I were able to get a teaching job in the US, if I were able to, I mean, no. I'm trying to currently, but yeah, what would it have been like? Okay, all right, I stopped thinking about what isn't. Anyway, I want to say I've grown and matured since the age of 25. Well, I hope so, because I know I've definitely matured because of my age. Definitely aged. I'll tell you that much, I'm sure. Anyway, I read that. The concierge returns, asks for permission to intrude, which Sophie gives with a polite smile, and leans in to whisper in her ear. You know that the gallery is now almost empty. I'm being told that the gallery is just about to close, but we still have quite a lot to discuss. We'll go to one of my apartments. My jalopy is waiting downstairs. Come. The smile she puts on makes you remember last night's encounter in the showroom. A similar eagerness to spend time with this person overtakes you momentarily, and you follow her outside. Yeah, she's using her. Your sixth sense tells you she's an artistic soul too, and you unwillingly start projecting good qualities onto her. She stares at you, even though she's not the driver, but yeah. Sophie leads you to a luxurious silver Rolls Royce and invites you to sit in the back. The chauffeur, a broad-shouldered, clean-shaven, middle-aged man, starts driving immediately. Where did we leave off? Ah, I believe I started telling you a bit more about our customs. You've heard the prince refer to our traditions. The chief among them is the Masquerade. The traditions. The 6 traditions from the core framework for governance among the Kindred. The first tradition, the Masquerade. Gosh darn it. I'm near my phone. I have to look this up because it's bothering me. The Camilla. Vampire. Are you kidding me? Vampire Hunter D. Camilla Vampire the Masquerade. Come on. Anarch. There we go. Anarchs. That's the other truth. Now, there is the Sabbat. Oh, and there's Kui Jean. I don't know if I got that right, but the Anarch movement. Yeah, Anarchs. Anarchs are the other major one. Like I said, there are others. And then, of course, there are vampires that do not partake in any of the groups. They probably get killed just as same as the Carmilla or as the Anarchs and anyone else, but not probably 100%, but usually. But there are vampires that aren't in any of the groups. You know, they're independent. You know, like in politics. Well, this is all politics, honestly. Okay. But they all believe in their traditions. I mean, that doesn't change. Excuse me. Although maybe some might vary, some of them, but they do believe in the traditions. The first tradition, the Masquerade. Thou shalt not reveal thy true nature. You know, always have a persona. Persona! Okay. The second tradition, the domain. Thy domain is thine own concern. All others owe thee respect while in it. The third tradition, the progeny. Thou shalt not only sire another, or thou shalt only sire, where am I? Thou shalt only sire another with the permission of thine elder. And it could be different elders, but anyway. The fourth tradition, the accounting. Thou shalt, those thou create are thine own children. Their sins are thine to endure, which is, that's why it gets so frustrating with the Carmilla, honestly. The fifth tradition, hospitality. Honor one another's domain. Without the word of acceptance, thou art nothing. The sixth tradition, destruction. Thou art forbidden to destroy another of thy kind. The right of destruction belongs only to thine elder, unless given by your elder, which in this case would be the prince, the head elder. Basically. As you might have gathered from us assembling at a niche gallery after closing time, our comings, goings, and doings tend to be somewhat secretive. We do not advertise our existence. We allow myths and modern fiction to morph and muddle the facts. So to the vast majority of kind, Sorry, of kind. Kin. That's probably kin, not kind. We remain bedtime stories and pop culture icons. Kin. A term for mortals largely contemptuous. The phrase kindred and kin refers to the world at large, everything. Dang it, I hit X. Say, is that one television show about a vampire angel still popular? Oh wait, is that supposed to be Angel? Or is that a different vampire? Shake your head in confusion. She shrugs and continues talking, looking a little bit more dejected than before. Was it Angel? From Buffy the Vampire Slayer originally? Spin-off. Is that what she was referring to? Was that the reference? I assume, but that's, I don't know. How about the vampire? Now it makes me really want to watch the Vampire Gamsa, the Vampire Prosecutor, which was a 2-season show in Korea. I never was able to buy it because any K-drama, because it's all K-dramas for the most part, any show in Korea, if you buy it in Korea, generally, first, it's overpriced. Second, on DVD box set, I mean. Second, you won't get English subtitles. In order to buy, and I bought some DVD box sets, but I have to buy them from like Hong Kong or someplace, which is annoying because even that English is bad, which is ridiculous because Hong Kong English has been, anyway. But yeah, yeah, I buy them overseas. It was ridiculous when you think about it. But yeah, but they're much cheaper, more reasonable. Anyway. Oops, did I skip something? No. Our clandestine ways helps us remain safe, allows us to explain away the occasional trip up to the rational minds of 21st century humanity and dictate much of our interactions with mortals. Is there anything the movies get right? There has to be some stuff that the books or movies got right, or is it all just vampire propaganda? There is a kernel of truth in every myth. Those concerning Kindred are no exception. There are mortals who sift through and manage to separate the facts, though it doesn't happen thanks to Hollywood. For one, sunlight burns us. That's why we rest during the day. Yeah, see, I use Bram Stoker's vampire as my basis for things, where he doesn't die in sunlight. He just is incredibly weak and frail and tired. So that's what I would go under if I were to make any vampire stories, books, games, or whatever in my off season as a professor. As a wannabe writer that never will be a writer. I just have ideas. But yeah, I like that instead. I don't like the fact that, oh, it kills you. I'm just like, come on now. But I know a lot of movies, games, and stuff go with that idea. We have to have some way to kill the almighty vampire. Anyway. That's why we rested. You felt it. More like being dead than being dormant, isn't it? But we have no choice. We are night dwellers, but day sleepers. Some more folk-related threats are just legends, or occasionally a minor nuisance. Garlic, running water, even religious symbols don't repel us, unless the wielder is uniquely pure and godly. Stakes through the heart, though, that's something to avoid. They do not destroy, but they do paralyze, which under the right circumstances can often be the same thing. Yeah. And her glare, oh. That's a reason to have somebody like my trusted driver, Gregory, making sure you're safe when you drift away. We have many enemies, and they often know their advantage lies with daylight. so it's good to keep human friends. Am I right in thinking that having a human friend or two is necessary then? Or at least useful? In moderation, and best if they don't know your true nature. Also, I would say that subordinates are useful, but friends, I haven't had one of those for many years now. A little sect supplies social interactions aplenty, but it doesn't really encourage friendships. Alliances of convenience to be broken at a whim, yes, that's more like it. Sect, a group of vampires arguably united under a common philosophy. The two most widely known sects currently populating the night are the Camarilla and the Anarch movement. I couldn't type it right because I'm tired. Yeah, and like I said, there's other ones in the TTRPG, but yeah, those are the two major ones. Little. Long-term solidarity does occur in the Camarilla, but we are a very politicized organization by necessity. Loyalty is to your own sire, to your prince, and to the sect. Sire, a vampire's begetter. The kindred who created them. Stop hitting the wrong button, Dark. Friends must remain a distant priority at best for us to maintain the masquerade and thrive as the years pass. With age comes authority. With it comes influence and power if you wish to reach for them. She seems to be lost in thought and falls silent for a while, leaving you to ponder all the things you've learned tonight. And all the things you didn't ask to get different information for. I gotta quit shortly. Also, I gotta hang up my laundry. Bleh. Bleh. I like hanging up laundry. At least that's gonna be a thing that I won't have to do in the... Well, I could in the USA, but I'm not going to. Waste electricity to easily, quickly dry my stuff, even if I have to use fucking coin-operated machines again in an apartment. Or if I'm lucky finding an apartment complex or something that has hookups and I can get my own laundry machines. Excuse me. Why, sure. I like the latter option. But drying my laundry quickly within 2 hours would be nice, as a opposed to or doing laundry within 2 hours and then just throwing them away, as opposed to hanging them up and then being lazy and not folding them when they're finally dried off, however long. Yeah. Although my mom's mom, when she was alive, even though she had a washer and dryer, she had a clothesline, and she liked to hang them up when the weather permitted in the backyard. So, yeah. Well, was it the back? Yeah, because I would have been the back of the garage, that part of the house, and then there's the back of the house. Yeah, kind of confusing. Anywho, wonder who lives there now. I know who lives in my dad's parents' house. That's my cousin, or one of my cousins, and her family. But yeah, I'm curious about my grandma, who lives at my grandmother's house now. Which, by the by, if I do get the job, that I have the interview for, it's actually within like an hour and a half drive to where my grandmother lives, or used to live, where her house is. And I do have aunts and uncles still there, in that town. I'm not going to name it, but it's there. I know it's about an hour and a half because it's about an hour to the major city that's near that town. So I'm thinking it's about an hour and a half drive. It's crazy. I kind of know a lot more about the state, that state than I want to know. It's funny. Anyway, let's see here. It still feels absolutely unreal, but as piece after piece of knowledge falls into place, the image becomes almost like an entirely logical jigsaw puzzle. Whatever you wouldn't believe on your own, you've witnessed. Many questions swarm your thoughts, but the one you keep returning to is what your place in this new reality should be. The car stops. You are in the city in front of an old but well-renovated apartment building. We're here. Would you like to see your lodgings? Is it another parking lot? Is it another drab, safe room in an underground parking lot for my safety and all that? Don't be ridiculous. You're not a sireless fledgling in Qatar's stern grasp anymore, and even he wouldn't hold you there any longer than necessary, I think. Come upstairs. She leads you through a small hall with a night guard who greets Ms. Langley with a good evening, and you take the stairs up to the second floor. Sophie opens the door to room 209. Is that the horror movie? Is it room 209? Oh, no, it's 409. I have that movie. I like that movie. It's a good jump. Also has one of the things I deathly dislike in the world. You're at a wall in a high-rise building that has floor to ceiling glass, and he almost gets killed by falling out the window. Anyway, yeah, I don't like it. Vertigo hits me hard. Like, I can be at heights. I can do things high up in the air. That doesn't bother me. I don't get vertigo. But if I look down and it's a floor to ceiling window, yeah, I get vertigo. Vertigo hardcore. It's insane. Oh my goodness. And the fear that somebody's going to shove me out the window, break me through push me out the window. I shadow through the glass and plummet to my death. Horror much? Yes. Horror a whole lot. But it is in the back of my mind. Same as how cornfields hide rapists, pedophiles, creepy children, who knows whatever else hiding in that shit. And I'm from that area, folks. Okay. Anyway. When am I going to end? Maybe, I forget when the next major thing happens when this wraps up this introductory chapter. We're still in the introductory chapter, right? Yeah, the beginning. I think we're almost wrapping it up. Inside are all the amenities you could expect from a modern apartment, and some you wouldn't have deemed necessary just the previous night, including thick blinds on the windows. The back room has a comfortable-looking bed and a thick steel door with several sturdy-looking locks, but no windows. Well, how do you like it? Or just do the first option. I mean, third place. This is great. Thank you. I'm not going to pick I want to pick the last option. I'm glad. Make yourself at home. Tomorrow, I will take you hunting and discuss the blood in more detail. I'll let you get comfortable. The keys are by the television set. I will come pick you up tomorrow night. Use the back room for rest. You can lock the doors just in case. It stings a bit when she leaves. It's like the room suddenly becomes a few shaders dimmer. You inspect the kitchen, hoping to find something to drink. Nothing. No regular food either. Feels strange that Kadar could be a more thoughtful host than your new sire, even if only in that respect. You briefly wonder if the sheriff might have a hidden side. Can you unlock that? I doubt it. The sheriff ensures that the traditions and the decrees of the prince are obeyed, hunts down violators, and delivers just punishment. In the case of minor violations or known enemies of the Camarilla, the sheriff is usually authorized to act as both judge and jailer executioner. But when it comes to greater offenses, they would deliver the accused to the court to be judged. With nothing left to do, you lie on the couch with the TV playing in the background for company. Hey, it's not Netflix, it's cable television. What? People still watch that? What? I'm hoping that I can get a normal television when I'm in the US. My current television right now, well, maybe it's a smart television. I mean, my mom's like, oh, it's probably a smart television. I'm like, Mom, no, it's not. It would be more expensive, and it would be bigger. No, I'm pretty sure it's normal. And the reason why it's normal, well, I don't think smart televisions have all the coaxial cables or the different things to hook up like a, composite cables, where, like for older systems. Maybe they still do. I don't think so from what I've seen. But yeah, I don't want a smart television. I mean, if I'm going to have anything extra, I'm going to be able to play it through my PS4 Pro or PS5 or whatever. I mean, I'll still have Netflix, I think. Oh yeah, by the by. Dark's going to go off on a tangent. So, I tried to switch my payment system for Netflix in Korea. And I tried this multiple times. And I even tried it with a VPN, and it did not work. And it might be because, well, there might be certain VPNs, but also mine should be a good one. And I actually am paying for it currently, although I'm probably going to drop it at some point. I mean, when I'm in the USA, it's going to be no need for the most part. And maybe it will work differently in the USA if I had a VPN. Anyway, the point is, I tried to change it, and I can only use Korean credit cards. Well, technically, I'm not paying with a credit card, although I did add one. But yeah, you can only use Korean credit cards, quote unquote, for the most part. You can't use any other bank cards. I assume, and gathering from what I got from when I looked online, it was kind of sketchy. I mean, sketchy as in there wasn't any information, not sketchy as in, I don't know if I should trust that source. It might not be legal or whatever or anything else. No, it's just that there wasn't really any information about it. I'm assuming when I'm back in the USA, that's when I'll be able to be in the US system and I can switch it to a USA card. Otherwise, I'm going to have to cancel my whole subscription and restart again in the USA, which would be a pain. But I did finish watching all of the episodes of Archer that's on Netflix, so I should be fine. That was all the major thing that I wanted to do. I actually did finish watching that. I had to go back in again. Korea is so annoying because you have to confirm your age on certain things. And so, for mature audiences or whatever. So I had to go in, and it's a pain in the butt because they always move it around. And then I have to remember what my name is listed as, because your name can be listed multiple times in Korean. I'm not going to go into why. Korea is just screwed up like that. And yes, I'll be honest, you can call me racist if you want, but it is screwed up. You should not have your name listed multiple times. It's so stupid. But anyway, luckily it worked the first time because you have to use your cell phone and all that to get a text message, and it's just BS crap. So I was able to verify and I was able to finish watching Archer. That's all that matters to me. I mean, I have a lot of other things bookmarked, but I haven't watched any of that shit. I've been paying for that subscription for who knows how long. But anywho, yeah, I'm thinking when I'm back in the US, I can switch it then. I will be switching. I have my other credit card that, actually, did I use the bank card? I used the bank card, not the credit card. Oh, that reminds me, I gotta cancel that credit card. I paid for all the flights and stuff, so I'm good. I gotta cancel that credit card. Oh shit, how do I cancel a credit card? I can probably ask the bank when I cancel that card. Okay, sorry folks. I gotta remember. I also gotta cancel my cell phone subscription plan. I think I can cancel it sometime next month, because I wonder if I have to cancel it before I get paid, or maybe it can be right when I get paid. My subscription gets paid off sometime mid-next month. But anyway, thinking of things I need to do before I leave. But yeah, but the point is, yeah, I couldn't change it. It would say like an error occurred, but it didn't say anything. When I tried to look up on Netflix's help forums, because you know, of course, there's no one you can actually message. It's just like any other big corporation. Oh, use the forums. Oh, fuck you. But you don't want any accountability. That's the thing. But anyway, none of it helps. It's like, oh, did you try this? I'm like, yeah, no shit, Sherlock, I have. But yeah, so I can't change it until hopefully when I'm back in the USA. All right. But the point is, I want a regular TV. Fuck smart TVs. I don't want that shit. It's confusing. I mean, my parents may have it, but it's confusing. I don't like it. It's dumb. I'll just have a couple things. Like, I mean, technically I should probably have Amazon Prime, but I don't really want that. I just have Netflix and Hulu. Or Hulu Plus. I don't know. They keep changing its name. I don't really know. But yeah, who knows? Or I won't, because I mainly watch YouTube. And if I can hook up a computer to YouTube, all the better, or my laptop or something, then I won't have to watch any ads, because I have a certain blocker that also blocks ads. So, and thank goodness Google's stupid and they don't have it. So, although sometimes Google's ads get through the blocking, which is weird because it usually doesn't. But I've had experiences where it has happened. I was like, Jigga, what? That's not right. I put this on all computers. I put it even on the... Well, in the USA, it's probably stricter, if I remember correctly when I was in school. But in Korea, they don't have blocks on anything. So I put that blocker there so when I did show stuff in class or use YouTube, I don't have to see some stupid ad. Anywho. All right. Columbo reruns. Oh, Columbo, ew. Why can't it be like comedy show or a good action show? Kojak reruns. Oh, are you watching TV Land? Which is its own channel, right? Now, yeah, because it used to be Nick at Night or part of Nick at Night or something. Now it's, I think, its own thing, spin-off. President of the United States got himself into serious trouble again. Oh, gee. When was this game made? Was this made during Trump's era? He might do it again. I don't know. Oh, gosh. Anyway, okay. Don't talk about politics, Dark. Especially when you're going back into that stupid political scene. Anyway, whatever. You should be able to vote. God. At least I would be voting. Well, actually, I don't know. Well, I'll be sending the vote. I guess you re-register whenever you move. But anyway, that won't be until November, and hopefully I'll be working by then somewhere, wherever I live. President of the United States got himself out of trouble again. This game. Okay, hold on. I don't think it tells me when I look up the game when it was made. Yeah. When I download it. It just tells me when it updates, I think. Game update, not when I downloaded it originally. Actually, when you download the game originally, that doesn't matter. You could have bought it later. Anyway. Well, you didn't buy it. You buy the rights to it. It's so stupid. Games are so fucked up nowadays. Okay, don't think about that, Dark. You're tired. You're thinking about this stuff. Okay, we need to finish this. Pundits start yelling over each other about things that seemed a little bit less insignificant just 2 days ago. You start drifting off, reflecting about another night of confusing conversations and worldview-shattering revelations. How many more before you finally understand what happened to you and what you're supposed to do now? You keep coming back to the life you left behind, the people you should contact, the things you want to pick up from your apartment. You wonder when you'll have the chance for either. I don't know, they probably torch your apartment. As you start to feel the same tiredness that made you drift into a cold sleep last night, you settle in the back room. The bed is comforting. Lack of windows less so. You leave the light bulb on. Looking at it, you realize it's the closest you've ever come to staring at the sun on a breezy summer day again. A wave of melancholy overwhelms you. A few minutes later, your consciousness fades and you take the plunge into darkness again. Sinking, 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 sinking. Bum, 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 bum. Oh, sorry. Rest. Tutorial! Alright, we're going to stop there, folks. How do I save? Save and exit. We'll read what the tutorial has to say later. Load game? Yes. I think it saves where you save. I think. But anywho, we'll stop there, folks. I'm hoping that I can beat this and the other one, which I forgot the name again, even though I looked it up earlier and said it. Something of New York, Knights of New York, or whatever the fuck is called, I forget. But hopefully I'll be able to play and beat those. Hopefully get a different ending, or the true ending in the second one. I only played it once, because in the second game you only play as one character, you don't get a choice, so there wasn't like... I mean, there is replayability, clearly, but it's a different mechanic, basically. And I don't know how to get the true ending. I mean, there are certain ways, but I just didn't. I was playing it, whatever. But anywho, this has been Vampire the Masquerade Coteries of New York. That means I have to create another freaking playlist on YouTube. Oh, I just like doing it. I really do. It's a pain. I'm going to be in my office tomorrow too, because I'm going to print stuff out. I have to sign some stuff. I have to turn something in tomorrow. Actually, I got confused by it. It deals with my pension. And of course, the person who I'm dealing with didn't really clarify it, but I'm gonna, as he said, to print off one of them if you want either lump sum payment or you want to get paid monthly. Because as a USA citizen, you can get paid monthly for a Korean pension if you retire early or retire. But and you go back to the USA, but because there's like an agreement with USA and Korea about that. But I'm also not the traditional retirement age, which is 65. So I'm actually confused, and he didn't really clarify it in the email. So I'm going to ultimately print off both of them, fill out the one that is just talking about lump return, and then I'm going to bring both of them to the office tomorrow and then talk to him about it. Because technically I'm not 65. Unless that's a misnomer, but I don't think it is, because that makes no sense. Because the other one does mention about that option too, but I'm like, okay, I can't do math, especially since I'm not quite sure when I actually officially was started the payroll. Because I didn't start working officially when I got to Korea. There was a few months. Oh god, that was a horrible time. But anyway, we won't talk about that. That's for another time. If I want to mention it. But yeah. Yeah, I need to check in with that. So I gotta do that, do paperwork. I gotta turn in the paperwork for the essay thing a student of mine did. So they will publish that, and it's fine. I gotta print out my grades, make sure that's all fine and dandy. I gotta make sure my laptop. I'm gonna have two laptops. I'll go back to the USA. I want to get rid of that one, but I'm not going to. Oh, that's the other thing. I gotta figure out when I'm gonna contact the people to sell the desktop computer. I'm not having that. I'm not taking that with me. Oh, carry that in your carry-on luggage. Fuck off. Even in the check luggage. Fuck that. That's a fucking. But yeah. If I get a job immediately, I wish I could have it. I'll just buy a new desktop computer at some point, honestly. Go to Des Moines or Omaha or Lincoln or someplace and get a freaking desktop. Dark, are you going to be in Nebraska or Iowa? Ideally. I don't really want to... Well, I mean, Minnesota's fine if I were able to get a better job. Minnesota's just expensive. Well, the Twin Cities area is just expensive. And I haven't really lived anywhere else. Those are the 3 states I've lived in. Minnesota, Nebraska, and Iowa. Well, okay, I never officially lived in Iowa. I mean, technically I have a driver's license in Iowa, so I'm technically a citizen of Iowa. That's just because that's where my parents live now. But yeah. Alright. I hope you all have a very good rest of the day, night, or anywhere in between. Stay safe out there, folks, and see you Friday, KST. That's in 2 days, Dark. It probably will be raining. Alright. Goodbye, folks.